I always say, like, when you come to the Country Boy, it's like being at your grandma's house.
Yes.
Right? Whatever you need, let's get it fixed. If we didn't make your biscuit right, let's get them a new one. There's no issues about anything. Hello, everyone. We're here at the Country Boy today with Johnny Weber, the owner of this establishment, and we are super excited. He is what I would consider a serial entrepreneur. And as you know, we're all about entrepreneurs here and just love digging in and finding out what makes them tick. He definitely has a unique portfolio of businesses that he's been involved with and is currently involved with and will be in the future. Thank you, Henry. Thanks for having me, man. It's always great to see you and hang out with you. And
thank you very much.
Yeah.
And thank you for having us here. Tell us a little bit about, obviously, Country Boy is a establishment that's been, how long has it been in here in Leapers Fork?
So the Country Boy was born in 1968. So it started off as a restaurant in 1968. Over the years, I'm the fifth owner of the building. I bought this building about 3 years ago. It's completely shut down. And about 8 or 9 weeks after I opened it back up, I got a letter from the county telling me to shut it down immediately. And so that was a pretty tough time. I have a big note on it from the bank, and they're telling you to shut it down. You got to make a bank note. So, we hired strategically a couple good attorneys and started really battling the county, to be honest, to try to keep it open.
You faced a few hurdles. You mentioned the septic system here, county trying to shut you down. I think some of the projects you have taken on aren't necessarily the easiest ones, but you get stuff done. Tell me a little bit about like what drives you or what do you use as a tactic to do that?
I figured we could figure it out somehow, some way. Sometimes you go through life and you don't know how you're going to get through that storm or what's going on with you, but you just get up every day, the positive attitude, and you just try to figure out that day, which gets you to tomorrow and the next day and the next week. And so that's kind of what we did.
I have to say that's one of the things that initially enticed me about the place is the fact that it just kind of reminds you of being home cooked meals and having that environment. I guess not the plastic kind of environment that you get at a mainstream restaurant and so forth, which is kind of one of the things that you also have interests me in what you do is you have Davis General, I believe, down the road here a little bit. You own Gray's in downtown Franklin, which was an old pharmacy. These are unique properties, which I guess is a little bit different than some of your other portfolio that we'll talk about in a little bit. What's kind of drawn you to pick up these type of institutions, and what excites you about them?
Yeah, so the Davis General opened up in 1928, so it's a very unique restaurant / gas station as well. We focus on hot sandwiches down there. It's probably the best sandwich you'll ever get that's hot. We can do cold sandwiches as well. We have a great cinnamon roll, so it's really a good place to go just to kind of take yourself back many, many years. Get off your cell phone and just hang out and enjoy the people that come in. Gray's on Main, it was a pharmacy. That building was built back in the 1800s. It was a pharmacy for many years. People call it the living room of Franklin because people used to come. They used to shop for their drugs, and then they would have other things that they would buy there as well for their family, and people would just hang out. It was kind of a hangout place for Franklin back in the day. So it's been a restaurant for about 13 years now. And so when I heard it was for sale, I thought, that's a really cool, iconic place that we could pick up and continue the legacy. We also pride ourselves on building community. When you come to Country Boy, when you come to Davis General, when you come to Gray's on Main, it's that Southern hospitality, just like my grandmother and grandfather had, just like my mom and dad had. When you came to our house, man, it's just like you didn't know who was going to eat with you on Sunday or who was going to be there for dinner. And if people came in about dinner time, my mom was like, "You going to stay for dinner?" Or people would just show up for the holidays, and on those holidays, we would also deliver meals to our friends or neighbors, I should say, that was down the road that couldn't afford it or didn't have the means to do a Christmas Day lunch. And so that's Southern hospitality to me.
I have to say, one of the things that's unique is if Johnny's not in the restaurant, his father is usually sitting at the counter with a set of overalls on. And I always joke that if you didn't know him when he walked in, you will by the time he leaves, because he goes to each table, greets everybody, just tremendous hospitality, knows people by name, amazing customer service. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, how did that, besides people coming to your house and having dinner there What else did your parents kind of put into you that really you feel makes success in the business?
They created this atmosphere where we had chores every single day as a kid growing up. So we worked hard. We were also involved in sports and showing cattle and pigs and growing up on that country farm living. But also they created that hospitality in me because it just came natural to them. And it came natural to me because they were so welcoming and so kind to people. And so I think that's important. A lot of people don't get in today's time. It's just be kind to people and be welcome to people, help people get through life. And that's what my mom and dad did naturally, you know.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Obviously, knowing your father, it's amazing.
It's crazy that my dad, you know, he's been coming to Franklin for about the last 4 years or so, 4.5 years. And there's not a day goes by that I'm out in the community, you know, that people don't say, hey, how's your dad doing? What's your dad up to? And so that's been very rewarding to me to see people that love him and appreciate him.
And like I said, it's amazing how some of the businesses that you're involved with are preserving kind of the heritage that's in the Franklin, Brentwood area. Really remarkable. Is there anything that you, as you look at entrepreneurs, as you maybe mentor, I have some young people that I often mentor in the entrepreneurial world, maybe a tip or the one thing that you would kind of tell them about starting businesses or being involved in it?
Well, that's a great question. You know, I think the biggest thing is understand you're going to have some successes and some failures. And I said this earlier that, you know, if you're in enough deals, you're going to have some bad deals, and you can always work your way out somehow, some way, right? And the other thing I'd say is, you know, surround yourself with other great people, right? Great entrepreneurs, maybe people that are more mature than you, or people that have been through more issues than you, or had more success than you, probably both. You know, and they can help you work through some of these deals, right? I always say, if I'm the smartest guy in the room, I don't have a very good room around me, right?
Amen.
And so I want to make sure I have good people around me, whether it's be mentors or CPAs or attorneys, and having those good people around you that have experience can get you through some bad times.
Thank you for the opportunity and the time here at the Country Boy. Like I said, it's such a great place just to come and feel like home, feel like you're eating at grandma's house. And if you're in the Leapers Fork area here in Franklin, stop in, have a breakfast or a lunch. And if you're here on the weekends, he's got a great speakeasy underneath it that most people don't know about called the Tornado Room that you can get a good drink and a good friendship. So
that's right.
Appreciate it.
And some great live music.
And some great live music. That is correct.